Hi, this is Billy D. If you enjoy this podcast, please like and subscribe. Let's grow NAIA basketball. Thank you. Cascade Hoops Talk, bringing the world NAIA basketball one podcast at a time. Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Well, it's Monday morning. We all survived the weekend. I really had a great time. I went out to the Portland Classic over at Warner Pacific. Really some great games. Multnomah was there, and Warner Pacific was obviously the host. And then Westcliff out of California from the CalPAC was there, as well as the Providence Argo. And they all put on a great show. It was really, really good basketball. Very good crowds, especially in the afternoon there in Portland. So it was a lot of fun. It was really loud, and I really encourage everybody, give a listen to the courtside interviews with the players and the coaches. It's kind of cool to listen to the guys right after the game and the coaches, and we get them right out on the court. All of those interviews are easy to find. Just go to any PC or phone or your TV and just pull up YouTube. Type in Cascade Hoops Talk Season 5 and everything comes right up. And the courtside interviews a lot of them are a minute and a half. Coach interviews sometimes go 2 minutes and 20 seconds, but they're real quick. But again, when you hear these names around the country, you go, oh yeah, okay, that's that guy. And so anyway, I encourage everybody to take a look at them. So what we're going to do today, we're going to do a full review of the top 25 after the weekend. Some teams didn't play, but we'll just talk about where they're at. And then the rest of the week is real light. I think we're going to try this week to sprinkle in looking at, some of the unranked teams, because I know if you're like me, you look at, 200 and whatever it is, 45 teams, who else is playing well. And I mean, it's impossible, especially when the NAIA website's down like it was all weekend. You're trying to get scores. Wow. That was really nice. But anyway, we'll try to look at that. But today, let's do a top 25 review. There's a lot to go through, so I'll get started. The first, obviously, number one in the country is College of Idaho. They're 2-0. They've got they do have a couple of good teams coming up. Vanguard and Antelope Valley. Vanguard is out of the GSAC, and Antelope Valley is out of the CalPAC. They're both defensive team. Antelope Valley is very athletic, so it'd be interesting to see that game. That's 17th and 18th. That's this coming weekend. Grace College, they don't play again until they play St. Xavier on the 14th. They're 5-0. Arizona Christian, let's talk about them for a minute. They played in a tournament up at LC State, and boy, it got interesting. They're 4-0. But on Friday night, they played Eastern Oregon. This game went to overtime. I think Eastern was up, and I'm going to have my numbers wrong, but I think 5 points with 28 seconds. Arizona Christian came back. They tied it. They put it into overtime, and they won 104-98 in overtime. Congratulations to Arizona Christian to pull that out. Trent Hudgens, 25 points, 3 rebounds in that game. Anthony Howell, 18 points, 8 rebounds. Eastern Oregon, Garrett Hawks, he had a night, 38 points, 4 rebounds. That's a name we're going to want to remember. And then on Saturday, they took on LC State, taking on LC State in Lewiston. That is not easy. And they won that game 81-70. Excuse me. Dennis Flowers, he had 18 points, 3 rebounds. Micah Blackwell, 13 points, 5 rebounds. So Arizona Christian survives their trip into Lewiston, and they're 4-0. And then they play again on the 17th. They got Bushnell coming down. Langston, they're 2-0. We're going to get Coach Wright on tomorrow. That's the goal. I know he's not real happy with the team up to this point, but it's probably how many 2-0 coaches aren't happy. But I just want to talk to him a little bit because this team has such high potential. But they beat Midland 76-59 in that game. Anthony Roy, 17 points, 6 rebounds. Jaquavius Lennox, I apologize if I messed your name, 14 points, 3 rebounds. But this was what really caught my eye. Midland really, and nothing against Midland or the GSAC. I mean, anybody who listens to me know I enjoy GPAC basketball, but this team is just loaded with just premier rebounders. And Midland stayed right with them. It was a 35-34 rebounding contest. So Langston is 2-0. Like I say, we're gonna work on getting Coach Wright on tomorrow. Georgetown, they're rolling. They're just rolling. They're playing really well. They're loaded with weapons. They're 6-0. They beat this Simmons, Kentucky on Friday. That's an NCCAA team. You're never quite sure what you're going to get. Some of them are scholarships, some of them aren't. But anyway, they won that game 106-79. This week they'll go play Shawnee State. That'll be a battle. But let's talk about this Simmons game. Cam Brooks Harris, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. The sophomore Tay Dozier, he had 8 points, 12 rebounds. Georgetown out-rebounded Simmons 38-28. So they're 6-0. Montana Tech is 5-0. That's another team that really looks good. Of course, they were playing up in Butte, and it's like 27,000 feet there or something. Northern New Mexico was there on Friday. They beat them 87-61. And then Hayden Decons, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Asa Williams, 17 points. The Ore Diggers, they really shot the ball well. And then, what was it? I think that's wrong. I think Northern New Mexico, well, they're 5-0. And then on Saturday, they played Southern Oregon. They held Southern Oregon to 28% from 3. That was really the key. They wouldn't really let them get going. Asa Williams in that game, 17 points, 7 rebounds. Ipiane Okeke, he had 14 points, 7 rebounds. So Montana Tech, they're 5-0. Oklahoma Wesleyan, they beat Mid-American Nazarene 75-60. That was a top 25 game. In that game, DJ Talton Jr., 23 points, 7 rebounds, 5 steals. Jaden Litsky, who just has a great game every night, 11 points, 6 rebounds, as well as Caleb Stokes, 9 points, 11 rebounds. A big win for Oklahoma Wesleyan. That's always a really good game whenever those two teams play. But Oklahoma Wesleyan got the better of them this time. They go to 5-0. Freed Hardman, they played on Saturday. They played Tougaloo. They won that game 78-54. They go to 3-0. They play Oakwood this week later. But in that Tougaloo win, as I said, they won 78-54. J.J. Wheat, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Peyton Law right here, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. 22 Tougaloo turnovers. If Freed Hardman can do that every night, they're going to win a lot of games. LSU Shreveport, they played at Loyola. They won that game 70-59. I think that was Friday. They're 2-0. They play again later this week. They play Sagu. In that win over Loyola 11-point win. Paul King, 14 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. This is the young man from Monroe, Louisiana. It's a real small town in Louisiana. I used to work there. A lot of friends there. Jalen King, no relation. They're from different parts of the country. Jalen had 13 points, 8 rebounds. They held Loyola to under 30% shooting. Good defensive effort for LSU Shreveport. Number 10, Wayland Baptist. They lost to Our Lady of the Lake the other day. They're not back in action until, I think that's next Saturday. They play Southwest. They're 3-1. Indiana Wesleyan, they haven't played since the Olivet game. They play Rio Grande on the 15th. But look at this. Then they play Huntington, Grace, Bethel, IU East, Rochester, takes them up to the first of the year. So Indiana Wesleyan's really going to get tested between now and the first of the year, but they're 3-1 right now. Mid-American Nazarene, we already talked about this game, but Ed Wright, he played really well. He seems to play well every night. Just remember that name. Good player. 18 points, 5 rebounds. Mid-American Nazarene now is 1-1, and they'll play later this week at Missouri Valley. Southwestern, they played a couple games this weekend. One yesterday, one Friday. They beat Park 89-75, and then they beat Baptist Bible on Sunday to go to 5-0. In that Park game, they won 89-75. Our man here, Kevin Clark, 32 points, 3 rebounds. Justin Demaria, 18 points, 3 rebounds. The Jinx out-rebounded him 44-26. Mason Thiessen, he pulled down 9 of those. And then on Sunday, they beat Baptist Bible 98-75. Baptist Bible really, they held Kevin Clark to under 20. That's a win right there. 19.7 rebounds. And Justin Demaria, 15 points, 3 rebounds. Southwestern, the Mound Builders are rolling 5-0. St. Thomas, they're 3-1 now. They recovered nicely today, Sunday, from their loss at Mobile. They beat Penn State Greater Allegheny 120-87. In that game, Milton Matthews, look at this. He had a night. 45 points. Look at that. 45 points. That's unbelievable. Jordan Hernandez, 18 points, 6 rebounds. So St. Thomas, that was a good get-well game. They're 3-1 right now. Number 15, Olivet Nazarene. They played Huntington Saturday. That was a huge win. They beat them 90-82 to go to 3-1. That was a good recovery game after the Indiana Wesleyan loss. But look at Tyler Schmidt, of course. He scored 28 points, 9 assists. This dude can play basketball. Sam Emick had 20 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. They out-rebounded 34-24. But here's what I wanted to show you. They shot 57% from the field, 38% from 3, and 87%, 20 or 23, 87% from the line. If that Huntington was going to have to play a perfect game to beat them. So they just shot lights out. So they're 3-1. Mobile, they don't play again until the 16th. They played Spring Hill College. We talked about that the other day. They're 4-1. Huntington, we just talked about. I just wanted to mention Zach Goodline, 24 points, 3 assists, 4 steals. But they've dropped 3 in a row. They're at 2-3. Again, just like all the other Crossroads teams. Look at this schedule they got coming. Indiana Wesleyan, Holy Cross, Bethel, St. Francis. It's just going to be brutal. They're going to have to turn it around quick. Number 18, Northwestern, 2 good wins this weekend. As they head into GPAC play, this is a team to keep an eye on. They're 4-0. They're loaded with talent. They're solid. Let's talk about this weekend. They beat Viterbo. Viterbo has had some good wins, and they're a pretty good team. They just beat the heck out of them, 78-46. Alex Van Kelsbeek, 22 points, 11 rebounds. Zach Lefebvre, you see his line, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. And then Craig Sturck, 9 points, 10 rebounds. And then they turned around the next day, and they played Bellevue, beat them 69-58. Again, Van Kelsbeek, 19 points, 4 rebounds. Dylan Carlson stepped up, 10 points, 4 assists. And Craig Sturck, 17 points, 4 rebounds. But they go to 4-0. But they had 19 turnovers on Saturday. They got to clean that up, especially as they enter GPAC play. But I think they're better than number 18. We'll have to see. I mean, who knows, right? Morningside, they haven't played. They don't play until they start league play on the 15th. They're 2-1. The Masters, they beat Bethesda on Friday. That's a NCCAA team down there in California. They beat them 111-59 to go to 3-1. So Masters is 3-1. In that game, Ty Harper, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. And then Caleb Lowry, 15 points, 11 rebounds. So the Masters is 3-1. Antelope Valley, they beat Vanguard. That was a great win for them. That's a GSAC team, 107-99. And then look at this. Look at their next game. College Idaho Man, that's a walk in the park. Anyway, they're 2-1, heading up to College Idaho tournament. In that win over Vanguard, Eric Nicholas, 27 points, 8 rebounds, and Michael Hayes, 29 points, 12 rebounds. They struggled from three, which is not a surprise. I mean, they kind of historically are not the best shooting team, but man, they're really active. They're really, really athletic. They caused 26 Vanguard turnovers. Be really interesting to see them play College Idaho. Xavier out of Louisiana, they haven't played since the 4th. They'll take on Loyola tonight. Actually, they're 2-0. Dort, we talked about this a little bit. They fell to Viterbo. They're 5-1 right now, but they beat Bellevue Friday 98-74. Lucas Lorenzen, 23 points, 3 rebounds. Luke Rankin, 15 points, 6 assists. And then this dude here's a freshman, 14 points, 9 rebounds. And then on Saturday, of course, they fell to Viterbo 81-80. Again, I wouldn't. Anyway, Ben Olsen for Viterbo, 25 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. And then Nick Malvorth, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. I know this is number 23, lost to an unranked team, but Viterbo's been playing really good ball, a 1-point game. I don't think it really tells us anything. It tells us how tough Viterbo is to win over in the DeWitt at court. I could tell you that at Dort. But they take Dort's 5-1 now. Lourdes, they played on Saturday. They beat St. Mary of the Woods in overtime, 75-72. But St. Mary of the Woods is pretty good. They go to 3-0. So in that game, Joey Hollifield, 21 points, 11 rebounds. Sean Monroe, 20 points, 4 rebounds. St. Mary of the Woods, they go 44% from 3, but another team that got bit by turnovers. That probably cost them a chance to beat Lourdes. Number 25, Florida College, they've dropped 3 straight. They fell to Weber International on Saturday. Weber International's Tyrone Nesby the 4th, 29 points, 9 rebounds. But they have a tough stretch coming here. Warner, John Brown, Sagu. Florida College has got to do something. They got to fix something fast. So that's his top 25. Tonight, Loyola is at number 22, Xavier. This is the only top 25 game. But if you're just jonesing for another basketball game to watch, LSU Alexandria is at Sagu. I guarantee you that'll be interesting. You might check it out. There's only a few games tonight. So, maybe it'd be a good night to have dinner with your family. Who knows? But anyway, that's your top 25. You're all caught up. Once again, I really encourage you, go to the YouTube, Cascade Hoop Talk, and just look at the interviews with the players courtside. I think it's pretty special that they get to do that. So you might give that a watch. Anyway, this is Billy D, Cascade Hoop Talk. And thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school, because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.